concerning because a worldwide outage from Amazon Web Services has millions of people and businesses absolutely panicking. And for good reason. We don't know how much we rely on these things until they go down. But look at this. It says Amazon Web Services outage hits major websites. What we know so far as recovery begins. Now, as I'm recording this, they've already figured out the problem, started to remedy the situation, and things are going back to normal. But here's the issue. There are still some delays. I went to Bloomberg this morning as I'm making this video, during this video, and I was trying to pull up some articles. Every time I pulled up an article, the website crashed. It just crashed. So I can't show you those articles. I also, before doing this video, was planning on doing some trading. Well, certain apps are working, others aren't. For instance, Robinhood was delayed. Also, Webull was delayed. So if I wanted to trade, I had to go and use a different brokerage. That obviously impacts traders or, well, part of my business. But here's the thing. This is just the beginning. One of the things, and I'm not saying this is happening, but one of the things many experts are concerned with is we rely here in the United States, or really abroad as well, we rely so much on some of these services that if one goes down for whatever reason, remember Microsoft experienced this a while back, and people panicked. They freaked out because their entire livelihood was in these services. Let me play you this. Listen to this really quick.
Many Americans are waking up to massive internet outage impacting major websites, major apps, gaming platforms, including Amazon, AT&T. Just look at this list. Delta Airlines, Disney Plus, Facebook, Hulu, Snapchat, United Airlines, Venmo. More than even what you're talking than I'm even mentioning there. At the center of this is Amazon Web Services, that major provider of cloud services for all sorts of companies. AWS says now it has identified the root cause and also saying this, that we continue to observe recovery across most of the affected AWS services. We continue to work towards full resolution and will provide updates as we have more information to share.
Okay. We'll listen a little bit more of that in just a moment. I do want to show you a couple things though. Okay? Look at this right here. I want to explain what happened. It says the outage was first reported at 12:11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time in AWS's main U.S. East 1 region hosted in Northern Virginia. The notice on AWS's status page said it was experiencing DNS problems in DynamoDB. With DynamoDB, its database service that underpins many other AWS applications. It says that AWS cited an operational issue affecting multiple services and said it was working on multiple parallel paths to accelerate recovery. In an update at 2:01, more than 70 of its own services were affected. It says shortly afterward, AWS said it is seeing significant signs of recovery. By 3:35 a.m., the issue had been fully mitigated. It says AWS said in an update, adding that most AWS service operations were succeeded normally again. It says some requests may be throttled while we work towards full resolution, it said, noting that some services were continuing to work through a backlog. Okay? But here's the interesting part, and this is why I'm bringing this to your attention.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia. It hit me hard. It did.
Okay. But here's the interesting part, and this is why I'm bringing this to your attention. I have been warning people for the longest time to make sure you diversify your money. Don't rely on just one bank. Don't rely on just one income. Don't rely on just one thing. Okay? The reason for that is because if you lose your job, you don't have an income. Your bank closes or has some type of an issue or fraud, where's your money? Okay? If you rely on Amazon Web Services for everything, which a lot of companies do, and this is why we see a lot of pushback against, especially from Congress, that some companies are getting too big. And if they become too big, we become vulnerable. Essentially what happened. I want to read you a list of some of the companies that were hit. It says the website Down Detector said that users reports indicated problems at sites including Amazon, Disney Plus, Lyft, McDonald's app, the New York Times, Reddit, Ring, Robinhood, Snapchat, T-Mobile, United Airlines, Venmo, and even Verizon. It says British government websites gov.uk and HM Revenue and Customs were also experiencing issues for Down Detector. It says right here, the government spokesperson told CNBC, "We are aware of an incident affecting Amazon Web Services and several online services which rely on their infrastructure. Through our established incident response arrangement, we are in contact with the company who are working to restore services as quickly as possible." Okay. Lloyd's Banking Group, again, talked about banking, confirmed that some of its services were affected and asked customers to bear with us while it worked to restore them. Some 20 minutes later, it added that services were coming back online. The issue, though, is what if you needed this? Okay? For instance, what if, okay, just the what if you were trying to get somewhere and you're using your Lyft app? That's the only one you have. You don't have Uber. You don't have anything else. You only have Lyft. And you can't get a ride. You can't make it to work. You're stuck at a hotel somewhere. You're stuck at your house. Whatever it may be. What happens then? What happens if you're trying to catch a flight? Okay? And you can't because, well, you're stuck. Right? You are seriously stuck there. Well, that's what happened. Right here it says Amazon Web Services outage hit.
Now we know all the business eventually is going to shut down. Just like the system is going to shut down, which means it's going to bring down all the businesses. Market crash, everything. I mean, they were just really just testing it just to see how people react being down. All those businesses and services being shut down for a period of time or a few hours. Imagine if it was shut all the way down. We weren't able to go to Amazon or Walmart or Target, Kroger's, Myers to shop, whether it's online or in person. This is what is leading to Israel. Eventually, this is what's going to happen. Once the market crashes, everything is going to shut down. They know it. That's why they're in their bunkers trying to hide. But they're not going to be able to. If it's going to affect us, it's going to affect them as well. They ain't going to be able to hide. But yeah, that was just a test, just to see how we react.
Airlines disrupting check-in. I want to read a little bit to you because it does say airline websites including Delta and United were among those hit by Amazon Web Services. You see right here, United responds to a customer on X on Monday that it was experiencing a system glitch affecting our online tools. United told CNBC some of its internal systems were temporarily affected by the outage and that it was using backups to end the disruption. The airline said our teams are working to get customers on their way. Delta did say it was a minor delay, but they still got them on their way. Let's watch the rest of this really quick.
We're not saying a lot right now. Let's get over to CNN's Bryn Gingras. I started noticing this morning on multiple levels as it was unfolding. What's happening?
Yeah, and that's basically it, right? So they connect the business to us, the consumer, through apps on your phone. So if you're waking up, you're tapping on an app, you're like, how come it's not working?
Exactly.
This is likely the problem.
Getting like the ring of death.
Yeah, the ring of death.
Exactly.
They're actually saying, please submit to technical issues. Keep doing that, even though we're not answering them right now, or we are trying to get to them. There's basically a huge backlog. As you just said, there's been some significant progress in this. This happened way overnight. so there has been some, significant progress, but still there's a huge backlog of all these apps and all these companies that are looking to basically get restored. So there's even issues at the airport. I'm hearing about people who are trying to check into their flights and they can't because they can't do it through their phone. So there's so many different companies that.
I mean, who's to say they won't try this again, Israel? This time, have it down for good. Saying that it was a cyber attack. They know they're doing this. There's no cyber attack. They're doing this themselves. Israel. Nobody's trying to shut us down but them. No one else.
You've just listed a whole bunch of them: Amazon, AT&T, Delta, gaming services, right? Like Roblox. Even cryptocurrency companies are being affected. Coinbase essentially saying, "Don't worry, your money is safe."
Yeah. Coinbase says, yes, your money is safe. Don't worry about it. Same thing happened with Webull, Robinhood, a lot of these trading platforms. That's one of the big issues that a lot of people are concerned with, right? And you can see here, Venmo is even on this list. Well, people are concerned. This is why they pull money. This is why we see bank runs. This is why people have a little bit of an issue trusting such a massive company. Because if one thing causes them to go out of business, or they get shut down, or there's a hack of some kind, there's a lot of information that's leaked, but it also disrupts their daily lives. So let me ask you this one question, and then I'll let you go. What was impacted that you use?
So whenever you see that they're saying that they had a hack or a cyber attack or a virus, it always seems that they're able to get the system back up and running. All the services, all the business back up and running for them to have had a cyber attack. Just make you think, Israel. Did they really have one?
What was impacted? For me personally, I couldn't use Bloomberg. I couldn't use Webull, right? Those are two services that I use almost daily. So that's how I was impacted. But again, this major outage, according to Amazon Web Services, should be going back to normal. They're just experiencing some minor delays. So we'll see what happens over the rest of today, but that's what we know as of right now. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.